everybody, welcome to another episode of Boardgame Heaven Talks Accessories. In this video, I'm going to take a look at all of these amazing looking boxes for tiny epic games. There's all kinds of tiny epic games here, and these are made by e-Raptor. These are licensed inserts. They're all printed with nice artwork, and they are made to keep all of the components from the tiny epic game series safe in their own box with their own little trays. They do take up some more space on your shelves, of course, but they will make setting up the game and tearing it down a lot faster. Plus, it looks really awesome. So I'm gonna take a closer look at all of these boxes, and then I'll see you back up here. Okay, let's start with the box for Tiny Epic Defenders. Now, a little word of caution here. My copy of this came slightly broken. This lip here, this side, had broken off in transport, in shipping. It wasn't something I had done. This is, of course, you know, like what's that called? Plexiglass or acrylic plastic, and it's pretty solid, but it can, of course, break, just like wood, really. And the printing is really cool, but when it chips, it breaks off. So you can see the breakage there, and I just glued it together because I have glue that will kind of melt plastics together again. Just miniature hobby glue. But of course the paint on that seam had chipped off. So this is not how yours will come should you order this. This actually holds up pretty well even along the edges. There are a couple of rough spots here that have a tiny little bit, but you can barely see it. It's actually pretty well done. It's nicely crisp print job. And looks really nice. This is what it looks like from the back. So yeah, and it's kind of held in place by these little notches there. So you can put it on and just push it in, and it'll kind of clip in place. But be advised, this is not designed to be held upside down. So if you hold this upside down, I mean, it has some friction, but it comes out pretty easily. So it will fall out, of course. Here's a little you know, lid, I guess, also printed, really cool. That sits on here. I guess you can perhaps use this in your game as a centerpiece. The rulebook just goes on top of that. Normally this is about the size of your box, so you can see that this is quite a bit bigger. So there's a plus and a pro for these things. Of course, it needs more shelf space, but you can now just take all of these out and just put that on the table. You have all of these card trays where you draw your cards from, and there's room in here to sleeve them, as you can see. And they're all printed so nicely. Look at that. That's just so cool. The bottom is just black, but the sides and the inside are printed. That's just some dust. So it holds your cards, and you can see that there is enough room to sleeve your cards. So that's not a problem. And it's just a really cool design, and they have these notches so that the ones on the bottom can hold the ones on top, and they just sit on there, and they don't slide off. And then you have two trays, three trays actually, one with the meeples in the different colors, and one with all the weapons you can plug onto your meeples. So you have that ready, and you have here the fire tokens and these heart trackers also in their own little box. So you can just put that on the table, done. You're ready to go. See, and this is all of these, the epic foes. And what else is in here? The locations here, ruins, what have you. So yeah, all of these, again, plenty of room in this to sleeve them. It'll be about twice as tall, so that will fit nicely. I just love these cool printings on all the sides. That looks really good. Look at that. So put all of those in there, and the bottom also really looks really cool. Gamelin Games. That's just really nicely done. And the side of the box even, you know, has Tiny Epic Defenders on that side, some cool art on this side, some of the enemies, of course, and some of the heroes, and also Tiny Epic Defenders on that side. So you have two sides with the title, so you can put it in yourself like this or like this. Probably gonna be like this. And you can still see what it is. It's of course this, I mean, you can store it like this if you are careful. You can store it vertically because all of these trays do fit in such a way that your tokens and your components won't fall out. So yeah, you just put all of that back in like so and like so. So I think that's pretty clever. That's nicely done. I think I didn't put this one on correctly. There you go, nice. And this goes here, back again, and then this is the lid that covers all of that off. And then you can just put this back on again. So you can totally put it down like that. But see, like I meant, the friction of this is not enough to keep everything in place solidly. So if you're gonna store it vertically, I would suggest putting it down in such a way that you put multiple boxes next to each other, you know, so that it rests against something, or just use a rubber band. Put a rubber band, because these are technically designed to be kept flat, but you can store them vertically because the inserts won't fall around. So that's good. Let's move on to the next one. So here we have the second one, Tiny Epic Defenders The Dark War, which I believe is a expand-alone expansion for Tiny Epic Defenders, I think. Again, with the really cool artwork on the acrylic cover. See, it's semi-transparent there. That's really cool. And this one, yeah, this is intact. The other one was the only one that was slightly damaged. But this was all intact, and as you can see, all the art, the printing is looking really good and is intact here. You can look that it's got some depth to it actually when you hold it against the light. So that's pretty nice. Again, one of these lids in here with some really good art. So that's basically the same component but with different art printed on it. And here we have some slightly different trays because of course the components are different. It's the box is of course the same size. We have a tray with cards. This one I sleeved just to demonstrate that it'll fit. See, these are all these cards sleeved with premium sleeves. These are thick, really thick. I think these are Paladin sleeves, thick sleeved premium sleeves cards. And that will fit really nicely. And then there's the second tray here, which again has sleeved cards. This has all of these cards. All right, so yeah, again with the cool printing on the side, so that's pretty much the same. They stack as well, so that's really nice. And then we have a tray for your 3D scenery, so you know, your shrubs and your tree, or what is that, a table actually? Yeah, I think, wait, I think this all goes together, so you do kind of need to take it apart, but this goes through here, I believe. And this no, this is just a shrub, right? Or does that go on top of it? I can't remember. Yeah, it does. Yeah, there you go. So you need to take this apart partially. Although, well, I wouldn't put it in like that. I'd keep it in like I did in the first place. But yeah, that's at least you don't have to take it all apart. You can use, you know, the Manticore. You leave that assembled. And just put that in here. It does take a little bit of fiddling to get it on here, but it does fit. Then we have a tray with these tokens here. There's a bunch of these clouds in different colors. And the dice, just 3 dice go in here. There's some additional tokens down there. So we have that. That all goes into this tray, which again is really lovely printed, forced. And then in the bottom tray, which has a divider in the middle, we have the XP trackers and these white tokens with the skulls on them. So those all fit comfortably in here. Again, different kind of print on the sides. So that's really cool. And then there's some room left in here for the cards. So you can see them here. You can just assemble those and just leave them assembled, because you really don't want to take these apart too many times. So just assemble them and just put them in all in here. So they sit here. And then finally we have two more trays here. One with the bigger cards, once again, nicely printed on all the sides. And these are unsleeved now, but I mean, these are quite a lot. I didn't know if I could actually sleeve these. It didn't have sleeves that big, actually. So, you know, I'll probably keep these unsleeved. There might be enough room to sleeve them, but I doubt it. If you're using premium sleeves, it's probably not going to be enough. So I wouldn't advise sleeving these. But yeah, see, it all fits in here. Just all the big cards go in here. And then in the bottom tray, we have room for the smaller cards, medium cards. These are sleeved. There's not that many of those in here. So it says so on the bottom which cards go there. So that's also very convenient. And of course, you know, the hole here, so you can take them out easily, just like all their trays do. And the weapons, again, for your meeples. So yeah, it is an expansion, right? It's not an expand alone, because there's no actual meeples in this one. So yeah, we have that. There's some dust again in here. And this one is actually the other way around. So let me, yeah, of course there is nothing printed on the bottom. So this is how I should have put the bottom in. But yeah, this is also, again, with a really nice art. This is the second box. So let's move on to another game, Tiny Epic Kingdoms. So here we go, another one in the series of the Tiny Epic games, Tiny Epic Kingdoms, with the actual Gamelin Games Knight on the cover. So once again, you know, same thing as before. We have the acrylic lid with a really nicely printed cover art. That looks very cool. And yeah, I just really like how this looks. Really cool. Booklet simply goes on top as normal. And as you can see, another different kind of layout this time. They really took time to customize each and every one of their Tiny Epic games with trays to fit everything, of course. And I think that works really well. And you can just take these out and hand them to every player. So this is for the blue player, the blue meeples, with their resource tokens and this token here. So you just give that to one of the players. And look at that. It's just really nicely done. So you can just hand that out and get ready to play. You don't have to use Ziploc bags or anything. Here is the white meeple player, the black ones, the orange ones, and they do have different art on all of them, which is also pretty darn nice. Here's the castle, and this one has the bridge on this keep in the mountains, and this one has like a crypt of sorts. So that's pretty cool. And then finally we have this one with the underwater palace. So I should have actually put the blue ones in here instead of should have followed the color codes a bit more. But this is pretty awesome. I like that. And then we have another tray here with this one actually didn't belong in here. This one belonged in here. Yeah, I was wondering about that. So we have all of these here, all of these round tokens. They just go in here, just toss them in. The big black castle, the tower, meeple, I guess, goes in here in the middle. And this tray is for your dice, one for each player. So we have that, and then we have another tray with, again, really cool art. That's really nice. Oh, this one, oh, I put this one in the other. Did I mess up here? Because this might be an error actually. So I'm pretty sure they fixed that. I did get these early, right when they had the Kickstarter for them. So I'm actually not even sure if the people who backed this on Kickstarter already got their copies. They might have, though. But they sent me this as a kind of like an advanced copy to take a look at, and I'm sure they fixed this because mine came pre-assembled. So they put this together themselves, and they must have seen, hey, this should have been printed on the other side, and usually they catch that kind of thing and fix that. So yeah, this should have been on the outside. And then again, in the bottom of the box, you have a more cool Tiny Epic artwork. So again, all of these cards, they fit in there. I really love these with the beautiful art. It's really cool. And these. So all of these unsleeved, but I think this tray does have enough room to sleeve them. It totally does. But again, I don't have sleeves that are this big, but you could sleeve those if you want to. And everything just goes back in here really neatly. And that's Tiny Epic Kingdoms. Let's have a look at the expansion box, the Hero's Call. So here it is, Tiny Epic Kingdoms Hero's Call expansion for Tiny Epic Kingdoms. Once again, just like all the others, with a really cool printed acrylic lid. Looks nice. I like that part of it is, you know, transparent, so you can kind of see what's in the box. Another one of these cover lids. Again, with paint, they just went through the trouble of printing these as well, and that's just really cool. Just a little bit beyond what we really needed, because you could have just put the lid on this, but they needed a little bit of a lid to keep everything in safely. So they just printed this as well. It's really cool. Rule books just go on top. And again, just like the previous one, we have little trays with cool printed art on them for all of the extra meeples. So you have these tower tokens and tower meeples here that you once again can just hand out to all of your players. Let's just look at that. Here's the third one with the black towers I put in there. And this cool looking ruin with the purple towers. And this one has the white ones with an extra meeple. Then we have a tray with all the tokens. So once again, just on one side you put all these round tokens, and on the other side these wooden resource tokens, the crowns, and the was that silver or ore, or metal, forget. And we have another tray with this little mini expansion. Just open that up. There's these extra rules on top of all of these cards. And again, room enough to sleeve them for all of these cards. So there you go. And you can absolutely sleeve those, put them in here. And once again, they have this hole so you can easily take it out. Plus cool art in the bottom of the tray as well. So that's pretty sweet. And once again, this is the same as in the other box. A really cool, well, different printing, and this one came loose a bit, so I need to click that back in. So we have this really cool tray with the nice artwork. Look at that. That's super cool. With all of these extra cards. So once again, plenty of room to sleeve if you want to. They're pretty big cards. And those go in here. So there you go. That's everything inside of the Hero's Call expansion custom box from e-Raptor. And I have a couple more to go. This goes in like that. And this goes in like this. And there you go. Everything fits really nicely. Put the rules back on top. Put the cover on. And the lid. And there you go. So we got Tiny Epic Zombies to go next. Let's have a look. So here it is, Tiny Epic Zombies. And I'm a sucker for zombie games. I just like them a lot. So this might be my favorite one. But it does look amazing. Again, acrylic lid with a little bit of transparency there where the windows from this building are. So that's pretty cool. And we got the zombie horde and one of the survivors on a cycle here. That's really cool. So we have that. Again, just put the rule book on top. And then with a different layout, once again, customized for this game specifically, of course. We have a tray here with the die here and this token. We have all the weapons that you can stick on your meeples on the left here and the zombie meeples on the right here, and I really do like those. So you have one tray for that. It's also printed with some art on the sides there. So we have that. And then we have another tray like that in the bottom with extra dividers for all of the tokens and these meeples and these green cubes. So we have all the different tokens in here. So you can sort them out and just put that, boom, on the table when you set up the game and you're ready to go. And that saves a lot of time. And you can hand these to all the players. So you got your meeple, your tracking tokens, and this bullet token, and this cross wound token. And you have one for every player, of course, in the different colors. So 4 colors there. So that's really neat. One for each player. Just hand them out and you're ready to go. And then we have the card tray, which once again has plenty of room to sleeve these. So it's tall enough for sleeving all of these cards. And for this game, I might actually just do that because yeah, this is a fun game. And this art on the sides is fantastic. I really like that. The style is really good. So then we have the car and the bike, a big wooden police car, and the motorcycle. Those just go in between here, so that's fine. They don't really need their own tray. Yeah, well, you could put them on top of this, of course. If you're not gonna sleeve, you could just put them in here. Whatever you want. And then we have this, and I think I have this upside down. Yeah, so there we go. With the cool art, with all the weapons in the bottom of the box, and another tray with all the bigger cards, which again has enough room to sleeve them easily, if you can find sleeves for this size of card, of course. These are pretty big. So you get all the characters in here with their regular side and their zombie side. So that's pretty cool. I like that. One of the things I like about this game. So here the teenager, and here all the objectives, competitive and cooperative objectives, and then these cards with the locations. Oh, this is the tracking thing. These are the rooms, the locations here. So all of those cards fit together in this single tray, and that's that, and all fits in really nicely. So let me just remember how I put all of this in, like this, and this goes here. So I might actually just put those 2 bigger tokens in like this on purpose, of course, because they're basically spacers for these not to slide around. So you kind of have to put them in separately. I just realized, because they are spacers. But that's cleverly done. I like that. You have all of this ready to go, which saves a lot of time with setting up the game. And there's enough room to sleeve everything. You don't need to put things in Ziploc baggies. Just put it on the table and you're ready to go. I think I did something wrong here. Let me just, yeah, there we go. That wasn't in correctly, and now it closes nicely. And the final one I want to show you is the biggest one, because all of those other trays, all those other boxes, let me grab this one back again, are the same size and the same height. Again, with the text printed on 2 sides and just art on the other sides, which is absolutely lovely. But as you can see, Tiny Epic Crimes is almost twice as tall, almost. So it's a bigger one. These other ones are all exactly the same height, but this one is bigger because it has more components. It's a bigger game. Again, lid, semi-transparent, some of the parts here. But there's a lot of printing on this, and that is really, really good. The paint room with the cool classic cars there. It's really nice. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff in here. So again, completely customized to fit this game specifically. You have a tray here that you can just put on the table with all of those tokens. And that, again, I keep repeating myself, but that is the main reason why I like these inserts, is that you can get going so fast. You just take them out, put them on a table, and you're ready to go. That saves so much time. I hate getting all of these little components out of Ziploc bags that were stuffed into a tiny box. Well, these, of course, the Tiny Epic games come in tiny boxes, but you have that same problem with bigger boxes as well. You know, all the tokens, if they don't have a decent insert, all of the tokens are gonna be in bags, and that takes up so much time, and putting them back is just an annoyance. So this really, really works for me, and is something I would definitely get if you play a game a lot. You know, if you play a game once a year, no problem. But if it's a game you love and you play a lot and you bring it to family and friends, you're gonna want a good insert. And I can just really appreciate the whole thought process and the engineering that's gone into making these. This is a pretty straightforward tray, you know, just 16 little trays, but it's enough to keep all of your tokens separated. You can sort them out and you will know where to find them. You don't have to look around in bags and stuff. So that's good. There's just a tray here for all of these buildings. It's very simple. Just put them all in. We have a tray here for all of the meeples, basically. The wooden cars, this car here. The magnifying glass with, of course, the red decoding foil. So that's pretty cool. And these different colored meeples in here as well. So that goes in here, and I like the brick wall on the outside printed here of all of these trays. This one has actually the city, because the buildings, it's the city, and it has the city skyline. I'll take these out first. So we have here a tray that holds, I'll turn these around actually. Or actually, you could do it like this as well, but it doesn't really matter. What's convenient for you. It has the hole on the sides here, where I'm holding my fingers. And so you have these ability cards here on one side. And again, sleeved, because I did have sleeves for these. And these cards over here. So yeah, as you can see, plenty of room to sleeve your cards. Take this out, put it on the table, ready to go. You might need to shuffle them. Then we have another one of those trays, pretty much the same tray, but this has then room for these envelopes. It's just one of these, you know, the murderer. And then you have all the suspect cards in here. Once again, sleeved. And here is one with the rank, again with the decoding hole there. And the weapon, I could have actually put that on this side. I should have put that on this side. I guess it slid over. Because, you know, these kind of, they're pretty thick. So this slid over to that side, but that's fine. You know, this works. You have all of these envelopes here. Now we have another one. This is a bit heavier because it's completely filled with cards. Again, sleeved, but soon, you know, it fits. With the events and the city cards. So we have that. Also really cool and really handy. So you put that on the table and you're ready to go. And another one, the final one, with once again a couple of envelopes here. So we have this, the Kingpin on the Run and the Kingpin at Large, with these scheme cards. So those go in here, once again sleeved. And on the other side we have this envelope here, and here are these cards. So we have different kinds. Oops, I didn't mean to toss that there, but these are the loyalty cards in here, and the capo cards in there. Right, so let me just sort that a bit. So there are different cards in this tray, and this card here for the patrol wagon. And I just kind of divided these in here. So yeah, I'm gonna take those out anyway. Then we have another tray here with all of the bigger buildings, you know, the hangar, the museum, church, theater. Here's the obelisk monument. See if I can put that in like that. There we go. And that stacks on top of the other ones. And then finally we have this tray with these tokens here, which is really nice. These tokens as well. And these meeples, I guess you could call them. So everything has its own spot, which I like. Rulebook is down here. You could also put it just on top. I tossed them in here. Squad's codes and the officer's code. And then there's a lot of stuff in this one. So we have a bigger tray here. So this doesn't hold that much. So that's a little bit of wasted space, but I guess they optimized it as much as they could. So we have these bullet dice, and we have the baggie. Let me just put this down real quick, with all of these meeples in here that you draw from the bag in the different colors. Right? So we have that. And there's a little rule book in here. Crooked Capo's mini expansion. I just put that there with the baggie. So we have that. All right. And then finally, we have, again, the big cards. These ones are sleeved. They shipped this to me with the sleeves on. So that's handy because I don't have sleeves for such big cards. But this is sleeved. And it's just to show you really that it does fit every card when sleeved in this tray. And I do like this a lot with the city map on the bottom. So there's a lot of details printed in these trays even. And then we have the bottom of the tray, which has the mind map board here, which is pretty cool. So there you go. That's everything in this box, Tiny Epic Crimes. It's amazing how, how much you can fit in that. And of course it's bigger than the original box that the game came in, but it makes the setup and tear down so much faster and so much easier. And that's basically the main selling point, I think. And of course the fact that they are printed so well. I mean, look at that. That is awesome. That just looks really good. Tiny Epic Crimes on this side, Tiny Epic Crimes on that side, so you can store them like this or like that on your shelf. And again, you could technically store them vertically as long as you put like a rubber band or something over the lid so it doesn't fall out. But all the components should be fine if you keep it vertical. So those were all the trays. Let's see you back up top. So those were the storage boxes by e-Raptor for the Tiny Epic game series. All of the boxes you see here. There are more of them. Check out their website. I'll put a link in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That really does help a lot. So smash that button. And also please check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below or the icon at the end of this video. Patreon Saints will get their name in the credits, early access to all of my videos, and also access to Patreon exclusive videos. Plus, you will be saving up for physical rewards as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.